Welcome to Golden Bachelor. If you love celebrity news and real entertainment updates, you're in the right place. Taylor Frankie Paul's story doesn't begin with roses or candlelit dates. It begins with chaos, controversy, and a whirlwind life that somehow keeps finding its way back to the spotlight. Before reality TV cameras followed her every move, Taylor was already well known online. As part of the viral Mom Talk group, she built a massive following by sharing motherhood, marriage, and moments that felt a little too real to ignore. She was the relatable mom with the perfect smile until the cracks began to show. At the time, Taylor was married to Tate Paul. From the outside, they looked like a modern couple navigating life in Utah with kids, careers, and community expectations. But behind closed doors, their marriage operated under rules most people couldn't imagine. They were part of a so-called soft swinging friend group, an arrangement with boundaries that, according to reports, were very clearly defined. Those boundaries didn't hold. When Taylor crossed a line that couldn't be undone, the fallout was immediate. Trust shattered, the marriage collapsed, and in 2022, Taylor Frankie Paul and Tate Paul officially divorced, becoming one of the most talked about breakups in their community. What followed wasn't just a separation, it was a complete life reset. Despite the scandal, the divorce itself was surprisingly structured. Taylor and Tate agreed to joint legal custody of their two children, Indy and Ocean. Their parenting schedule became an unusual rhythm, alternating custody every 2 days. It wasn't glamorous, but it was designed to keep both parents present. Financially, Tate agreed to pay child support and cover the children's insurance. There was no alimony, no drawn-out courtroom drama. Instead, they agreed to handle medical, educational, and parenting disputes privately before turning to mediation. It was a practical ending to an emotionally messy chapter. But the fine print of the settlement would come back to haunt Taylor later. One rule was clear: neither parent could consume alcohol while caring for the children. At the time, it may have seemed like just another clause in a long legal document. Years later, it became a defining detail in Taylor's public narrative. After the divorce, Taylor didn't stay single long. She soon began dating Dakota Mortensen, a relationship that burned hot and fast, passionate, complicated, unstable. Their romance quickly became a focal point on Hulu's Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, where viewers watched their chemistry spark and then combust. They argued, they reconciled, they promised change, and somehow, through all the turmoil, they welcomed a child together in March 2024. It should have been a fresh start. Instead, it marked another emotional crossroads. By early 2025, Taylor confirmed the relationship was officially over. No more second chances, no more late-night apologies. During the show's reunion, she admitted something that shocked many viewers. She openly expressed regret over having a child with Dakota, calling it a decision made during a deeply unstable time in her life. It was raw, unfiltered, and painfully honest. But even that confession was overshadowed by an incident that would forever alter how the public viewed her. In 2023, during an intense argument with Dakota, a night fueled by alcohol spiraled out of control. In a moment she would later describe as the worst of her life, Taylor threw a chair during the confrontation. The chair struck her daughter, Indy, in the head. Police were called. The situation escalated quickly. Taylor was arrested and charged with multiple offenses, including domestic violence in the presence of a child, child abuse with injury, and criminal mischief. For fans who had followed her journey from playful mom talk videos to reality television fame, the news was shocking, heartbreaking, uncomfortable. Taylor later pleaded guilty to aggravated assault. The court sentenced her to 1 day in jail and 3 years of probation. The consequences extended beyond the courtroom. The arrest reportedly prevented her from traveling overseas for filming obligations. Public reaction was swift and divided.
Some fans expressed outrage and disappointment, calling for accountability. Others pointed to her remorse, her willingness to accept responsibility, and her commitment to change. Taylor herself didn't shy away from the truth. She called it the darkest night of her life and admitted she would carry the guilt forever. In the years that followed, she worked to rebuild not just her image, but her life. And then came the announcement no one saw coming. Taylor Frankie Paul was named the next Bachelorette. For some, it felt like a bold, controversial choice. For others, it felt like a redemption arc waiting to unfold. Bachelor Nation exploded with opinions. Supporters celebrated her vulnerability and resilience. Critics questioned whether her past should disqualify her from leading a love story on national television. Calls for boycotts circulated online, debates filled comment sections, but one thing was undeniable: everyone was talking. As filming progressed, Taylor hinted that love might actually be waiting for her at the end of the journey. Behind the scenes, she reportedly formed a deep connection that surprised even her. Whether viewers are ready to embrace that story remains to be seen. What makes Taylor's journey so compelling isn't perfection, it's the mess, the mistakes, the moments that make people uncomfortable. She isn't a fairy tale princess stepping into a fantasy. She's a woman carrying scars, trying to believe she still deserves happiness. Her story is one of consequence and courage, of love found and love lost, of laughter followed by regret. It's funny in its absurdity at times, tragic in its reality, and romantic in its hope that even after everything, hearts can still heal. Whether Bachelor Nation accepts her or not, Taylor Frankie Paul has already done something few reality stars ever manage. She's shown the full spectrum of human experience, the good, the bad, and the painfully real. And as her season waits to unfold, one question lingers in the air. Can someone with a past this complicated still find a future filled with love? Only time and a lot of roses will tell. If you enjoy stories that mix romance, reality, and raw truth, stay tuned for more deep dives into the lives that keep everyone talking. Thanks for watching Golden Bachelor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next big story.